The migrant caravanners are here, and leading figures in the media, from CNN's Jim Acosta to political leaders like former President Barack Obama, have egg all over their face. In his now infamous confrontation with President Trump during a White House press conference held just after the midterm elections, Acosta admonished the president that the migrants were hundreds and hundreds of miles away. Turns out over 5,000 of them started showing up in Tijuana, the Mexican town opposite San Diego, just days later. The migrants have been squatting in and around the town's sports stadium just feet away from the U.S. border. Acosta also berated Trump for calling the migrant caravan an invasion and claimed it's not. Yet hundreds of migrants just stormed our border, pushing past the feckless Mexican police to throw rocks and glass bottles at U.S. Border Patrol agents. Acosta said they're not climbing over the walls, yet the migrants climbed over the walls and tore apart sections of our dilapidated border fence, trying to break into our country. Many made it. At least 42 migrants were arrested in the U.S. after their break-in. So it turns out every assertion of Acosta's turned out to be false, and every one of Trump's true. Yet Democratic politicians would not be outdone by the media. While barnstorming in support of Democratic candidates in the days leading up to the recent midterm elections, Obama said of Trump's statements, "They do this every election cycle, try to terrify folks. Then the election comes and the problem suddenly, magically vanishes. You never hear about it again," according to Obama. Yet we've been hearing about it every day since the election, and we've been trying to deal with it every day since then. Obama also claimed it's an old playbook. It's one that the powerful and the privileged turn to whenever control starts slipping away. They'll get folks riled up just to protect their power and their privilege. Yet it's the powerful and the privileged, from Amazon's Jeff Bezos to the Koch brothers, and not Trump's working-class voters who want borders, open borders, and unlimited immigration. The rich want these migrants to work for them at very low wages in their farms, factories, warehouses, construction sites, and resorts, and, like Kelly Osbourne, in their mansions to clean their toilets. This is how the powerful and privileged get more powerful and privileged. Leading Democrats in the media also labeled Trump a racist because of his opposition to opening the border and allowing the migrant caravan to drive right in. At a speech in Miami on election eve, Obama, trying to stir up the Democrats' liberal base, claimed that Trump's statements about the caravan were part of his political strategy that pits us against one another to make us believe that order will somehow be restored if it just weren't for those folks who don't look like we look. Obama's claiming Trump's determination to enforce immigration law and protect our southern border from lawless entry is a call to racist white Americans. Well, that's par for the course. Many white Americans, particularly Trump supporters, are used to being called a racist. But what about the millions of darker-skinned Americans who oppose lawlessness on our borders? And what about Mexicans who desire order in their towns and on their border? Are they racist too? The migrant caravan is trying to push into the U.S., but it landed and has taken up residence in Tijuana. As thousands of Central Americans have disembarked there, hundreds of its residents have taken to the streets in protest. In scenes similar to a Trump rally, they're waving Mexico First signs and the Mexican flag, shouting no to the invasion, and singing the Mexican national anthem. Patricia Reyes, a Mexican woman, sounding a lot like Trump, told one reporter, "We want the caravan to go. They're invading us. They should have come into Mexico correctly, legally, but they came in like animals." Another Mexican woman, Magdalena Baltazar, said, "We work hard here. We don't get handouts. The government shouldn't be giving things to migrants when plenty of Mexicans are in a difficult position." The need to clothe, feed, and shelter thousands of migrants is causing a severe financial strain on the Tijuana city budget. Its mayor declared, "I will not compromise public services. I will not spend Tijuanans' money. I will not bring Tijuana into debt now." The mayor, who sports a red "Make Tijuana Great Again" hat, paraphrasing President Trump, said, "Sure, there are some good people in the caravan, but many are very bad for the city. Crime in Tijuana has surged from the coming of the migrants." City authorities announced 108 migrants have been arrested so far, including 104 administrative arrests, such as possession of drugs, public intoxication, and disturbance. The remaining 4 are to be prosecuted for robbery, fights, and insulting authorities. Are the Mexican mayor and all these Mexicans, who by most accounts look similar to the Honduran migrants, are they racist? No. They're like most Americans who want to restore order to our border and want migrants to apply to enter the U.S. legally. Well, that's about all the time we have today for the Scaringi Law Lunch Break. Thanks for listening and enjoy your lunch.